When I was only 7 months pregnant, my husband ruthlessly forced me into labor simply to save his widowed sister-in-law's baby. He didn't know that while his precious sister-in-law was completely safe, I was agonizingly dying in a pool of my own blood, holding our breathless child. Eugene Cobb locked me inside the freezing cold delivery room, his expression tense and urgent. The baby Fiona's carrying has a rare disease. They urgently need umbilical cord blood to save him, he demanded. I pleaded weakly, reminding him that forcing an early birth would brutally kill both me and our fragile baby. Eugene mercilessly pinned me to the hospital bed. The doctor expertly explained everything. The baby just needs to be born 2 months early, he sneered. As Fiona's fake screams rang out, he angrily accused me of being vicious and jealous of his care. I begged through my tears, promising to quietly divorce him as long as he spared our child. He just looked completely impatient. The horrific nightmare escalated when Eugene callously left to comfort Fiona. The twisted people Fiona had brought weren't real doctors at all. They dragged me roughly into the bathroom and violently shoved my pregnant body into a bathtub filled with freezing ice water. The cold swallowed me whole as they snapped the induction needles off inside my bleeding spine. I screamed for help, but Eugene didn't hear a single sound. Finally, in a horrific wave of tearing pain, my poor baby was born. But it didn't cry. Its tiny body was limp, its delicate skin turning an unnatural bluish purple. I snatched the phone and dialed Eugene, my voice shattering as I begged him to send real doctors. Through the phone, I heard Fiona pitifully whine that her stomach hurt. Eugene's voice immediately changed with extreme panic. Stop making a scene, he told me coldly, furiously ordering his people to rush Fiona to the best delivery suite, before hanging up. Fiona's fake doctors then pulled out huge, thick needles and drained tube after tube of my warm blood. When my agonizing screams annoyed them, they forced a burning chemical down my throat, instantly taking my voice forever. They locked the heavy door and walked away. I crawled to the bed, gathered my baby's cold body, and pounded on the door, leaving bloody handprints everywhere. My umbilical cord blood and stem cells were used on Fiona's baby, and both were declared perfectly safe. Only then did Eugene finally remember us. When real doctors finally found me suffering from massive hemorrhaging and chemical burns, Eugene actually blocked the medical gurney. The doctor told me the blood and the baby's coloring are completely fake, he sneered, viciously refusing treatment. Using your own child like this, I'm deeply disappointed in you, he said, coldly turning his back to take care of Fiona. I desperately tried to tell him the truth, but a massive mouthful of blood splattered across my baby's face. As my vision finally blurred, a familiar voice whispered beside me, "Don't be scared, sweetheart. I'm here." 3 years later, Eugene knelt in the freezing, pouring rain, clutching a deeply blood-stained baby blanket. He had finally discovered that Fiona orchestrated the torture, and that he personally condemned his own child to a brutal death. He spent his pathetic days obsessively tracking my movements, bankrupting his company just to buy the hospital where I suffered, all while desperately begging for a single glance. He resorted to extreme emotional blackmail, sobbing and screaming that he couldn't live without me. But as my new, powerful husband gently wrapped a warm cashmere coat around my shoulders, I simply looked down at Eugene's broken, pathetic, sobbing form and calmly instructed my security team, "Clear the driveway. The trash is blocking my car."